Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Smidge and we're on Loftia today. Today is going to be a video about what feedback I would give to the game after I finish the storyline, because there's a few issues, really big issues, and there are lots of things that this game has done correct and it is really good. So sit back, relax and enjoy. But before we get into this video, I just want you guys to know that this is a closed beta, so a lot of these things I'm going to be bringing up are most likely going to be patched in the full release of the game, but obviously it's just to help the devs understand what the issues are going forward. The first issue I'd like to talk about is mainly the game itself. Now, this game is marketed as a friends game, a game to play with friends, whether it's IRL or friends you make in the game. The main issue is servers. The amount of times that I've hopped on with my girlfriend and we've tried to play the same game, but you know, we join a party and then we move from this place, Loftia City, and we'll go to the Hanging Gardens. The amount of times we will then be removed from said party or group in this case, and we get put on separate servers, which is a really big issue, because then it means we have to go here and then, you know, we have to go here and then jump to friend, and then we have to find each other and then make a group, because if you try to make a group from here it doesn't really work, so you have to go up to them and then highlight them and then make a group there. So the whole friend system at the minute is very janky and really needs a rather big overhaul in my opinion. Another thing about the whole friend system was that earlier me and my girlfriend were trying to do these adventures together, because the community event was to donate bloom, and the only way you get bloom is from completing the objectives in these adventures. And the issue is that we were in a party or a group, and you know, we kept loading in at the same time, so both of our names would be here, but you know, I would be here and then it would say that my girlfriend was still connecting, and then on her screen it would say that she was here and that I was still connecting, but we were in separate lobbies, and basically we had to play it solo, and then when we came out we still weren't in the same group, and we obviously had to do the whole reset where you had to go into someone, you know, you had to hop into their server and then re-invite them to a group. So it is still quite buggy, and we'll get onto the adventure game mode in just 1 second. So now we're in the adventure game mode, and this is probably where it's rather quite lackluster, because we're here and basically we have a whole list of quests we have to do on the side. Like for this one we have to repair the wildlife feeders, build some seismic sonars, rescue the castaway, and do 2 gauntlets. Now, repairing the wildlife feeders isn't too bad, but I have found that on some occasions, not all of them spawn in. And the other issue with this is that you might be hearing that there is no music, which is because for some reason when I play the adventure game mode, I will start the adventure and I will get about 3 different types of music tracks playing over it, like the top of each other, and it's really quite overstimulating. So you can hear this beep in here, and that means that there's a sonar somewhere, we speak to this guy. But the main issues are that there is a mission on this, which is called adjusting the antenna. And this has happened to my girlfriend at least twice, maybe 3 times now, where she has been on the antenna, we've adjusted it, but then she has become stuck in the antenna, and then what she does is she presses escape and does teleport to start, but she's still stuck, like she just cannot move. And that's a really big issue, obviously, because you don't want to be getting stuck in a game that is timed. Leading on to that, the timer is too short. The amount of times I've gone into an adventure and I've had random people and they've just not been doing anything, so I have to end up doing the majority of the tasks. 4 minutes is too short. I think maybe 5 or 6 minutes would probably be ideal for this game mode, considering that the farming event is 5 minutes. I feel like this should be also 5 minutes. Another thing is they really need to add different maps. This is the only map. I know this is obviously just a closed beta, so we shouldn't expect there to be multiple maps, but multiple maps would be rather quite ideal. Oh, okay, I forgot when you die, you immediately go back there. But yes, basically staying in the party for this game mode prior and after is pretty much just a must, to be fair, for a game that's meant to be, you know, playing with friends. It just seems like the whole party aspect is just gone when you try to do anything that actually requires playing the game with friends. Like, it's all good that you can, you know, go around hitting your hammer on stuff or fishing stuff. You can do that with friends. You can go around collecting stuff with friends. But like the party game modes where you need friends and it just doesn't work is a really big issue, in my opinion. But what can you do? It is just a beta. Another issue that my girlfriend has had is that these gauntlets up here, these little buildings, is that once you go in here, I hope this is a solo one, it is. So basically once you complete this, alright, I'm gonna try and complete this in the time. So what happens is we complete it, and then once you complete it, you get the bloom. And then you all have a good time. But after, why is there music playing? I've literally turned the music off. But once you actually complete this, the amount of times you just get stuck after you leave is quite frustrating, to say the least. So we complete this, we go here, we pick this up. And then what happens is you then get kicked out, and then you'll just get stuck like here and you just can't move. It didn't happen this time, but it does happen quite a lot. The next issue I'm going to speak about is this place, Loftia City. So the amount of times I'll just be vibing and, you know, I'll be like, right, I need to go get some wood, or I need to go get some metal. So I'll go over and I'll start hitting it. The amount of times the server just lags really bad here is relatively quite insane. Like it's the first day I played this, the first day the beta was out. It was really good. There was no server issues whatsoever. We were vibing, we were having a good time. But relatively, being here, the amount of times I would have to hit this one bit of wood is insane. Because your ping will randomly go from 73 at the minute that I have to 300. And yeah, it's not a great time. It happens a lot here. It doesn't happen pretty much anywhere else. It happens occasionally in the Hanging Gardens. But yeah, it's something that needs to be obviously fixed, because you don't want to be getting new people in and they're trying to do these quests and they're being forced to smack a washing machine like 7 times because obviously the server is lagging. So the servers need to be obviously a lot better. And another thing about the servers is that if I press escape here and I go to settings, my preferred region is Frankfurt, because obviously I'm in Europe, I'm in the UK, so Frankfurt is good for me. But I don't think that that actually works, because the amount of times I've logged on and I've seen American streamers or American partners on this game. So obviously I'm not in a European server if I'm seeing American streamers that I'm like aware of. So servers are relatively quite buggy, but obviously servers can be fixed and can be adjusted. And this is a beta, so they probably weren't expecting this many people on, especially on a closed beta. But yeah, the servers do need to be fixed. The next issue I'm gonna lighten is the grid fall. As you can see here, my FPS is currently at about between 20, like the high 20s and the early 40s. Now I'm running on a good gaming PC. I know that I've got OBS open and I'm recording, but obviously with the PC I have, I should not be running at 40 FPS. I was initially running NVIDIA DLSS because it does support that, but I think after they updated it recently, if you have DLSS on, it will absolutely just crash your game over and over again, because I think that it's trying to get too much out and it just crashes. So it was working, like the first couple days I played this game, I had DLSS on. They then updated it and I had to turn DLSS off because it kept crashing the game. So obviously I know there's a lot of stuff in Gridfall that you can see here. So obviously I'm well aware that, you know, I expect this place to be a bit framier than the other two places, but again, it just needs to be better optimized. But you know, within time, they'll sort it out, and that's fine. But for now, yeah, the Gridfall is relatively quite a framey mess, but I do love it. This is probably my favorite place. Now we're moving on to outside of the game. We're talking about pricing. If this game is gonna succeed, I think that this game either needs to be free to play with paid cosmetics and like paths or passes, that sort of stuff, rather than a paid game, in my opinion, because for what the game is, I feel like there's a lot more competitors out there that offer more for less. Obviously, we have the main one being Palia. You know, they do updates every 2 or 3 weeks, and there's a relatively quite large update coming. And I feel like if they were to price this game at like £25, like, you know, $25, that sort of area, I feel like this game might get overlooked, mainly just because there are a lot of other cozy games out there that are free and you can still do everything in them, but like all the cosmetics are paid for. So I feel like if this was a free to play game where you could still earn some cosmetics like what I'm wearing, or, you know, and then you can just pay for the extra over the top cosmetics, I feel like that's probably what this game needs to succeed. Because if this is free to play, this is a great alternative to Palia. If it's not, I feel like Palia will overlook this game. Well, yeah. And Palia will succeed more in the long term. But now we're on to the things I like about this game, because there are lots of pros to this game. And I'm not just here to be a judgmental downer. I'm here to give some insight to the good things too. Now, this Gridfall might be the most framey place on the game, but it is by far my favorite place, mainly due to like this main street here. It just looks so cool. You've got this kinetic energy thing here where you can charge your battery up for free. It's just a great time. I do love Gridfall. If this was really well optimized and I could run this at 60 FPS, no issue, I'd love it so much. The next thing I really love is also in Gridfall, and this is the urban exploring. So when you get to this place, you get the Urbex pass, which allows you to go down and do some urban exploring and dig up artifacts. I love the idea of artifacts being like Tamagotchis and old cell phones and just lots of old toys, stuff like that. It looks really cool. Like here you got like a rubber duck, you got some scrap, and you got like a Tamagotchi sort of thing. It's really, really, really cool, and I really do appreciate what they've done for this little like mini game mode here, because it is relatively quite fun, and I just love going around finding all the artifacts and just having a good time. This is another thing that needs to stop happening, is me getting the cutscene every time I go into the Hanging Gardens. Every time I go in here, I get the same cutscene. It's like I've been here like 17 times. Before we get on to the next pro, this is sort of a pro, is the music. The music in this game, as you can tell, I've reactivated it, is so nice. It's such a cozy vibe that you can just, you know, sit, fish, go around, break trees, break televisions. It's just, the music is really good in this game. It's just in the adventure game mode, I get like 2 or 3 soundtracks playing at once, and that's the only time the music is a little bit overwhelming. But apart from that, the music in this game is really, really good, really chill, and I really do appreciate it. The next thing that's really good about this game is the propeller. Now, the propeller is an add-on to the glider that you get after you complete the beta. It's a recipe, it's not that hard to craft, but I love it. And I managed to find this secret place, because obviously people were saying that there is a secret cave up here, and I was like wondering what that was, and now I can access it. This person can access it too, and they've just done it without me. But basically you just go like this, and it propels you up so you can reach more heights, and you can access this secret little cave lake here, which is probably my second most favorite place on this game after Gridfall. But no, the propeller is just brilliant. I love it. It helps you access loads of new areas. It makes it so much easier to access all the essentials around the map that you need, and can take you to some quite chill places. The next thing I'm gonna speak about, which is a really good pro, is the customization on the fly. So you don't have to walk home, you don't have to go back to your house and access a wardrobe or a bedroom to change your clothes on the fly. You can just change your stuff right here, wherever you need to, you know, and people can see you changing stuff. So if I was to change stuff now, that person that I just seen in the cave lake with me will see me changing my hats constantly and think, what am I doing? But it's a really good change to a cozy game, I feel, because you unlock a new top, say after finishing a quest, and you can immediately see what it looks like without having to run back to your house, you know? It's a great add-on. And whilst we're on the subject of customization, the cosmetics available in the beta so far have been relatively quite insane. Like, you've got this, you've got the onesie, you've got the urban exploring stuff, you get the really cute shoes, like you get the slippers and these, you know, you've got lots of options. The cosmetics are really good for what is available in just a beta, and obviously the ones you have is accessed by this pass that we have here, and the pass is completely free, so you don't have to do anything. You just play the game and you can access all these cosmetics, and it's just a great time. I just feel like the cosmetic side and the customization side is spot on. This next thing isn't exactly a pro of sorts, it's just a concept I find relatively quite cool due to the nature of the game, and that is the battery. So you obviously are playing a game that's all about solar panels, hydro pumps, wind turbines, all the resources that aren't bad for the environment. You know, we're here saving the environment by doing good for the environment. But I think that using power to craft stuff such as like this is really good, because then you can just go over here and then recharge your battery, and it doesn't seem like a pain. I just think the concept is cool because it goes like along with the concept of the game. I did find it a little bit jarring at first because I did see that you had to use like charges, and I thought, oh no, it's one of these games where you get a set amount of charges and then you have to wait 5 minutes to get one charge back. But it's not, it's completely different, and it actually is just quite a cool concept. I do think it's pretty smart. All in all, Loftia has been a fun addition to the cozy game genre, but the main thing I think is the issue is that if the pricing is too much, if the game is too expensive, I feel it will put like players off of buying it, because I don't feel like it offers that much for a price tag, in my opinion. I know it's a beta, so they might add more stuff, but the way it is at this moment in time, I just don't feel like it's currently a paid game. But if it was on the cheap side, like $10, I feel like it would be fine. And if it was free to play with paid cosmetics, I feel like that would be the ultimate option. I'm being abused as I speak. Personally, I still believe that Palia is a much better game, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Loftia is bad, because obviously Loftia isn't meant to be exactly the same. But all in all, I still do think that Loftia is a great addition to the cozy game genre, and I know that they're not competing with Palia as such. I still feel like I would be spending more time on Palia than this, especially if I have to pay for it. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and feelings on Loftia since I finished the game. Well, I finished the beta, I must say. And hopefully you guys agree with some of the things I said. Hopefully some of you disagree. I'd like to have some conversation in the discussions, in the comments. And yeah, everyone enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you guys soon.